Champions, champions, champions. How the flippin' heck are ya? What's going on? How do I look? Washed out? Horrible? Excellent. What's going on? I look a bit grey there. I wonder what I've done. Properties. What's going on, legends? How are we all? Limited. Didn't change anything. Who unplugged the lights? What lights? I got lights. Look a bit grey. I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, I'll worry about that later. It was looking good until I hit live, and then OBS has done something to the settings. What's new? So, Lou, Robbie, Colby Jack, Mark, Chris, Andrew Henderson, morning from Cairns, another Aussie, Glenn Beeler, g'day mate, Lucas, Sergeant Grinch, haven't seen you for a while, how are you? Daniel, Billy. I rewatched a stream where Brad had a rant about Wix ads being omnipresent 10 years ago. Now I'm flooded with them. Wow. Algorithm can't be that good. I can barely send an email. Good old Wix. Yeah, all of a sudden the ads just stopped for Wix. I don't know if they're still going or what, but I guess they are if you're getting ads. G'day, Martin. Enjoying a nice single malt. What are you drinking today, buddy? Shane, how you going? I see your penistic phallic illumination. There it is. I've got it on a Variac. It looks a bit bold at 240 volts. Silly Sunday project from last week. I know what I'm trying to say. So we've been extremely busy. Blah, blah, blah. Same old crap. Too busy to do any videos. It's been everyone ringing every day asking where their job is, and I've got 100 people doing the same thing. So I should start a boxing ring out the front, and whomever wins gets their job looked at first. I've had a couple of people saying, "Come on, man, it's been like a month. This is ridiculous." I hate to tell them that some of the other guys in the industry are blown out to 2 or 3 months just before they can even look at something, let alone repair it. So Dad's been in town giving us a hand with the hi-fi stuff, particularly. Did a few turntables yesterday, which is great. I'm waiting on a stylus to turn up for one of them. And we were going to replace a belt in another, but one we had did the job. I was going to get a authentic Thorin's belt for $50 plus shipping, but we had a generic one that fit okay. We tested it with the different speeds. So we finished a Parasound HCA 806, which is a 6-channel monster. That was a recap and a general service, as well as one of the channels was dead. And a Linear Design SA8200 stereo amplifier, beautiful thing, old school, but very high quality. And we did a recap to that because some of the coupling caps have literally failed, like leaking shmoo out of their plugs. And there was some cracked solder joints, some dodgy previous work that we reversed in that. So they're ready to pick up as soon as I get a chance to invoice them, that is. It kind of sucks, like you bust your ass to get the job done, and you bust your ass to do the next job and the next job and the next job, and you're in this sort of zone of just getting stuff done. But you got to invoice the shit before they can even know to pick it up. So, yeah, that's this weekend's job. Tomorrow morning's job, I think. Just got no time, champions. You either sit there and do invoicing all day and get no work done, or you sit there doing work and get no invoicing done. It's one or the other, isn't it? So it's in a bit of disarray. Yesterday, I promised someone could pick up their guitar. But then a bunch of other stuff happened. And although I said, yeah, come around at 4, I didn't count on all the customers coming in before 4 or the other stuff to tackle before 4. So we didn't get out of here till about 6 o'clock. That was some dodgy work from a previous tech, as always. It's not just the amps. The guitars aren't safe either. Show you some photos. Oh, mercy. So, no easy way to show this, but the previous person charged about $350 to do a rewire to a guitar, and included a bunch of silly, frivolous things. There's my penis lamp. That's the rosewood base, made out of Indian rosewood, I believe. Had a offcut, a nice big chunk from a blank that I use for cutting acoustic bridges out of. That's just a clear finish too, no stain on that one. I thought needs a nice timber base. Where are we? Oh, that's I found the old QC kicking in. During a visual check of one of the Marshall boards before testing, I found Michelle put one of the diodes in back to front in the HT supply. So lucky I found that. She owes me a Coke now. So yeah, that wire just fell off. That's this guitar I was talking about, but it's not lace sensor. What's the pickup brand? Kinman pickups. They've got really thin coax wires. Like the core is really thin. So this person put I don't know what they're called, the shoelace end type crimp things, expecting that to somehow strengthen the wire, even though the weak spot just goes from here to now it's here. So of course the wires broke off. This solder joint, it just pulled out. And these ones pretty much the same. They were just loose in the solder. I don't know why no one can understand soldering. Like, does this look like a good joint to you? Like a $300 job joint? Does that? I know the focus isn't great, but it was taken quickly while I was trying to get the job done. They've got another fetish for these stupid fucking Soviet caps. I don't know why people think they're good. There's no magic to be had in a guitar tone cap. Just deal with it. Like, spend your money on other more like better return things. You don't have to spend your money on a fucking... He charged him $25 for that cap. It's just a piece of shit, leaky 200 volt ex-Soviet old stock piece of crap that's way too big. Like, I use the multi-layer ceramics, which are like the size of a fucking grain of sand compared to that. You got this big weighty thing. It's so big he couldn't solder it to the pot, so he had to put a tab down there which he didn't use lock washers on, so the pots are all loose. Again, like $350 job. That's a great solder joint too, isn't it? $350 job again, and that wire was pretty well touching the casing, which kills all your signal. So the only reason the customer brought it to me straight away after getting this job done was that it failed immediately. If I have a job that fails immediately, the customer ends up back here. So I don't know if this person's intimidating or they're just out of the way, like they're too far away or whatever. But $350, the customer got rorted. He charged him $20 for each of those pots. And granted, the CTS switch pot's probably worth more than that. But he called it a Gilmore mod, where you just pull the pot out and the neck pickup's always on. Except he wired it the wrong way around, so the neck pickup was wired to, well, see over here? He's made it so there's your mix output, because that's your volume pot. And that's one pole, that's one side of the switch. He's just wired it up as a single pole, single throw. And when you pull a pot, this white wire is connected to the output always, and that is the bridge pickup, because the lever works the other way around. Yeah, when the lever's over here, the contact is connected to that, which is the bridge pickup. So he made it so the bridge pickup was always on, which is the opposite way around, I believe. And it didn't make a lot of sense from the way he couldn't understand what combination of pickups he had at any given time. So we changed it the other way around, so it changes it so the neck pickup's always on. And he could understand it a bit better. But redid all the wiring. All this got ripped out and redone. I did reuse this stupid cap because he paid silly money for it. But yeah, I just don't understand the obsession with new old stock shit, which is just, a cap's a cap, man. Like, you got your parameters that are required, but there's no magic in a tone cap in a guitar, you know? I fell for this. This is Seth. I fell for the Soviet paper oil caps back when I could get 100 of them for $25, and only about 40% of them made them pass my LCR. That's what I say. They're all leaky. Made them pass my LCR bridge testing regiment. Ceramic cased Soviet KGB caps are okay. Was that cap still in specs? Yeah, I did measure it and I did test it for leakage, and it was all good. But yeah, you've got your usual solder iron burns everywhere. But how is that a good solder joint? And there's like shit left on the jack from burnt, I don't know, plastic or flux or whatever. But just every job is like this, and you guys wonder why I'm cynical about stuff and think everything sucks. Well, this is because this is what I see day in, day out. Every day, every job comes in, the customers poured money into these jobs. And these people subsist as basically scam artists, lying to the customer about their ability and then doing a shit job, and then somehow they get away with it. There's that wire there. There's a bee's pubic hair between it and the pot casing, which is grounded. And again, you've got just sloppy wiring there, melted insulation. This shit matters, man. Like, it failed, didn't it? And that was the soldering connection between the two tone pots. That was moving. The solder had run all the way down onto the wafer. So yeah, beware. I'm not going to publicly name this person, but you can send me an email and I'll tell you. What else was I going to do? Oh yeah, I was going to talk about a really nice guitar that came in. Surprising. Yeah, all of those solder joints are awful, Wes. I know. You're preaching to the choir, buddy. Oh, you know why my screen looks washed out? Because I unplugged the power from the laptop to plug in the SD card reader. So it's gone into power saving mode for the LSD. For the LCD. Listened to too much psychedelic rock, sorry. Alright, so this one here, I don't know what series it is, but this is a Squire made in China, and it is fucking faultless. The frets were perfect. Everything was so good on it. So for everyone that says I'm negative, I hate everything, I don't hate everything. You just see, I'm a fault finder. So of course I'm going to put up videos about the faults that I find, aren't I? But I like to, when I've got to remind myself to put up videos and information and posts on social media about stuff that's really good too. And this is a Squire. A customer brought it to me for a setup, restring setup and service, as well as both pickups replaced. Now, he supplied me an Alnico generic thing, which actually sounds pretty damn good for the bridge, because it had shitty ceramic pickups in there. It had a dual rail thing here and a humbucker over there. But we put a Tone Rider AC2 in the neck, which is a fantastic pickup. Unbelievable value for money, those things. Tone Rider, do not hesitate. Just get one if you're thinking about it. And they've got lots of finish options now too, which is great. And they work rather well together. I did pick up the bridge pickup, lift up the bridge pickup quite a bit and drop down the neck just so the difference in output wasn't crazy. But the hardware is really nice. Obviously, I had to take the bridge off to replace that pickup and just check the ground wire and all of that. The wiring inside was pretty good. Yeah, no complaints at all. But the frets were amazingly done. The nut was perfectly carved and flush with the top of the strings. Not big crated bloody slots. I don't know if someone else has had a go at it before me. But yeah, everything was tight. Really nice finish there. It's got the deluxe style heel, so a bit of a cutaway there, like you see on some of the fenders. But everything was beautifully finished. That nice thick powder coat, which seemed very durable, and there was no hints of it cracking or anything under the screws when I loosened them off to have a look. Yeah, nice hardware. They look like Goto to me, but they might be generic. But there was no backlash in them. They were really nicely done. It's got like a roasted maple neck. Probably looks a bit pale there, and oh, there's my penis lamp. But yeah, really good guitar. I thought it was great. So yeah, not everything's shit, eh? I don't know what series it is. It was single bound. That's the filaments. Blah blah blah. Back to the guitar. But yeah, that was a really nice guitar, and I'd be proud to own one of them. And I wouldn't give a shit what it says on the headstock. I love a good telly. Every time I don't have a telly, I think, oh, I should get a telly. So while I'm whinging about stuff, let's carry on. I took some photos for the website. Man, the boards have been flying off the shelves, eh? The Marshall boards. Since I released the 50-watt version, I've sold half of them already. Someone was like laugh emojiing the listing and stuff on my social media pages, like, oh, who's going to pay that? Don't know what to tell you. They're almost all gone, mate. So, yeah, you can laugh all you want, but they're selling like hotcakes. But there's been a influx of just the 100-watt ones selling as well. I've sold like 10 of them in the last two or 3 days. So all of them were boxed up and shipped out. I've got to, that's the 50-watt version there. They're all tested now, all ready to ship. I made a batch of 10 of them, and 5 of them are already gone, like overnight. So we'll have to get the next batch coming in, which brings, there's the Tone Rider. That's the AC2N for neck, in black bobbin finish. They do come in different finishes too, so they've got the aged nickel, which is really nice, but they've got the zebra or the cream. They've got quite a few finishes. I think they only had the zebra and the black to start with. There's one of the boards being tested down there. I've labelled all the, I've made little labels on all the cables just so I can quickly change them out without having to refer back to the chart. I've got to put that chart up on the product website too, so I don't have to email it to people. It's just one thing I always forget to do. Yeah, silicon, you can see all the caps and all that are silicon together for shock mounting. That is where I'm going to do a video, and I just did a deal on a TSL 100 head, which I'm going to turn into either flip or turn into a higher unit. But that's the one that I'm going to use for an installation video, which I want to film over the weekend if I can, but there's so many overdue jobs I probably won't have time. But one of them is you got to jump at this link here, because that's your main connection to the output transformer common. So like the 0 volts, the ground. And then it has to pass through the shunting contact in that 16 ohm jack for some stupid reason. I think that was a layout problem because there's no reason you'd have to do that. Yeah, the only argument could be that if you plug in to the 16, then it cuts off the other two, so you can't accidentally plug two speakers into the one when you're into the 16 ohm setting. But yeah, I'd like to see that, just a jumper across that, because that is a weak spot. They do fail. There's quite a bit of current demand there. That was the board that came in the DSL50 head that I purchased. And it actually doesn't have the bias drift issue, that particular one. I think that's been replaced previously. And I think it used to be a 100 watt board and they've depopulated stuff because, I don't know if I got it zoomed out. Yeah, I think I do. Because they still had the fuse for the, it may not have been, maybe that was just a factory error, but it still had the fuse for that fuse. Yeah, okay. You need that fuse anyway because that goes up to the DC. That goes up to the rest of them. You've got 1, 2, 3 fuses, and that fuses that valve. But you can see it also goes up to the preamp. But yeah, the layout on them's not brilliant. So it still works though. So I might sell that for $100 or put that back in the head as the higher unit. But I'd like to have one of my boards in the higher unit if I do rent that out. So I just took some photos in case I do sell it. And here's one of my heroes bloody guitars. It's one of the mankiest guitars I've ever had. That's the thumbnail there for this stream. It's got a P90 that is retrofitted. But that's a Fender resonator, just a Bicky biscuit resonator. The neck angle is all over the shop. There's a big crack at the back of the heel there, but he only uses it for slides, so he doesn't care. There's Dad's station. Dad brought his soldering setup, so he didn't have to use my lowly Hakko gear. So yeah, there wasn't a lot to do to that. I checked the electronics, cleaned that up, cleaned the pots, replaced the jack, and restrung it, cleaned the fretboard, all the shmoo off the fretboard, years of shmoo, and restrung her up. So I also worked on his pedal board. Now there was a bunch of pedals there. This was one of them. This has got to be the worst sounding pedal I've ever heard. I don't know anything about it, but it does have a single-sided, looks like a homemade, home-etched PCB. But it's some sort of horrible fuzz that just sounds really, really thin and gated. It sounds a bit like the, you know that song, "Well, I've never known a girl like you before." That it sounds like that, but even thinner. And just oversights in the, oh, sorry, this is a, yeah, this is, I've never heard of this guy, but apparently he's an Australian builder. So that's the cleaning button. So the write-up on this booster pedal is insane. So you see military circuit. Let's read it together, champions. Let's read it together. It's rather funny. It's rather entertaining. Let me just find it. In AU only. What, you can't buy them from overseas? So I don't know anything about this guy, but the write-up on these pedals was hilarious. Just from a purely comedic point of view. I don't know if he's taken the piss or what, but high voltage valve preamp. Yeah, well, he's got one of them on the pedal board too, but we'll get into that shortly. Military tone saver pedal. Free post in AU only. Okay, $200 plus GST. That's pretty cheap. Award-winning MTS Millitry. Spelling mistake. Anyway, moving on. Condition is brand new. Well, yeah, I should hope so. I mean, it's your shop. It's weird. Our pedals are owned and supported by Aussie legend players like Joe Camilleri. Yep, cool. Claude from the Black Sorrows. No last name for Claude. And Jan, who is this actual pedal. Scott Kingman. Kingy. from the Screaming Jets. Are you here, Scotty? How do you find this pedal to be? Oh, there's nothing wrong with the pedal. I just find the write-up hilarious. Introducing the military tone saver, an award-winning. It keeps saying award-winning, but it doesn't say what award, and I couldn't find any evidence of any award anywhere, anything to do with this pedal. So I don't know what award he's talking about. Award-winning modified military wideband unity gain amplifier. Okay. Unity gain amplifier. Why do we need wideband when we've got a guitar signal limited by a 5 kilohertz bandwidth speaker? Anyway, with a secondary linear amplifier. Okay. No period. Start a new sentence without a capital. This pedal is a combination of 4 years work, space, comma, space, and contains 2 separate circuits from 2 different military, oh, you spelled it right, submarines communications designs, comma, comma. The first circuit is a modified dual wideband unity gain amplifier from a F-class 1958 Russian submarine. Okay. Comma, comma. This circuit isolates the incoming signal from the output stage, comma, comma, analyzes your signal, and raises the loss bass and treble frequencies to the threshold level that the circuit is designed for. What circuit is designed for? The circuit you're going to plug it into? I don't know what that means. Also removing all AC degradation. I don't know what that means. That's meaningless. Negative AC degradation? What, like treble loss from, I don't know, capacitance? All AC degradation, negative capacitances, that's, don't get me started on the grammar. Anyway, and inductance that cables and pedals produce in your rig. Okay, well, that's fair enough. Well, that's what a buffer does, because it changes the impedance, yeah? Lowers the impedance of your signal, so therefore it's less affected by the parasitic capacitance in the cable. Restoring tone and sustain, all without coloring your tone. The second circuit, okay, so that was the first circuit. That was the first buffer, unity gain buffer. The second circuit is a modified secondary linear amplifier design from a Netherlands what is that? K9 submarine communications circuit. Okay. And when activated, raises the amplitude of the improved signal up to a whopping 30 dB. The capitalization is supposed to be the other way around on that. D is the lowercase and B is capital because it's Alexander Graham Bell's name. Anyway, one thing to note is this circuit starts to amplify from the volume of the first stage circuit, thereby not grounding any of your signal. What? I don't know what the fuck that's supposed to mean. Mitigate high frequency tone loss from capacitance, inductance, soaked cables and pedals. Yeah, fair enough. I agree with that. Improve signal quality and level. I agree with that. Correct any impedance mismatches that occur with pedal boards. I agree with that. Boost the input current in any pedal circuit and maintains the correct voltages to the amp. Weird way of saying it, but yeah, basically you lower the impedance, so therefore I guess it was not going to be higher current if you've got an op-amp input, because generally no current flows. But anyway, additional foot switch activated linear amplifier circuit. My recommendation is to use them at the end of your guitar, bass, keyboard chain, just before the amp. Thanks for looking. I mean, it works, but yeah, it had a faulty jack, I think, I replaced on that one. Long story short, I just thought that write-up was kind of funny. Bone tone. It's confusing. What's it called? Bone tone VGS Mark III. But is it that, or is it the MTS military? Is there something written under that? There was something printed on that before. That looks what looks like laser etching. Yeah, these jacks, that's like the ones you find on the keyboards and stuff. One of them had failed. So this here is a valve preamp. This fell out of it from the factory. So that was causing issues. That dag was floating around. These were blobs of solder that were just floating, like you could shake it and rattle it. So you can see the soldering there. It's too much solder on those pads. It's supposed to have fillets, not big blobs. So there's little balls of solder everywhere rolling around inside the box. You can see them everywhere. So a few of them were causing issues. That cap down there just fell off as I took it out because it was like tack soldered. Now I don't know what solder he uses on the pot, but whatever it is, the flux is corrosive. So it looks like paste flux, like a plumber uses. So that's not good, but it seems like he only used that on the pot casings, but it didn't help with the adhesion because you can see that that wasn't soldered at all. I could just pull that off, and that hasn't wetted to the solder joint either. And I think they used the same flux on the board. It's like it was painted on before soldering. So that's what good soldering doesn't look like. So anyway, I cleaned up a lot of that because I didn't know if that flux was corrosive, and it looks like that was heat shrink over the inductor there. This is a high voltage boost converter that generates I think it was like 250 volts or something. So the valves are actually running up to proper voltage, and it sounded okay. This thing sounded pretty decent. A little bit noisy, but you know, you get that. But this cap here, oh, that's after I resoldered it. But that cap was just tack soldered to the old joins, so it's like they were playing with some values there or something. But yeah, I had to clean the pots, and yeah, there was some stuff shorting out from those random blobs floating around. Oh yeah, this is my 50 watt DSL50 that I purchased for testing the 50 watt boards. And the actual problem with this one, because I said earlier the board actually wasn't leaky on this one, but the output transformer had failed. So one side of it was reading soft short, so it was reading about, I think it was like 1 or 2, well, not a soft short, pretty hard short actually. It was reading about 1 or 2 ohms, but flexing the thing around and the bobbin and stuff, it could make the short go away. So it's like one of the windings had just broken through the insulation. There were cracked solder joints around the speaker jacks, so it could have been a flyback event that broke through like a pinhole, formed a pinhole in the one of the windings. But manipulating the windings, because these diagonals were really shitty. I wanted to do a video on it, but again, I didn't have time. So when I took that wrapping off it, I've got some photos on my phone, but I sent them to Alex. The windings were really loose and overlapping each other. There was no isolation from primary to secondary at all, and the wires were like folded over each other, and the really loose. Like moving the wiring around made the short come and go. So anyway, I didn't trust that transformer anymore, so I replaced it with a Hammond. Oh, that was a stripped screws on a Floyd Rose mounting screw for a nut, locking nut. So I plugged and re-drilled them. That was a new nut I was making for a 5-string bass. I just thought that looked cool with the lines from carving the string holes there. That was the other day when I got a gradated filter and was playing with it during my lunch break. So that's with the dark bit down, and that's with the dark bit up. But yeah, I'm gonna use that for outdoor streaming, you know, like walking videos and stuff. See how it lights up the ground a bit? That was, I think, without it, or rotated the other way. And that was with it up around the sky. Don't mind the focus. I think I was still on manual focus for that one. Hartfield. I told you guys about this one last stream, didn't I? And there's my little dusty test amp on the guitar setup bench. This thing sounds fantastic. This thing sounds better than it has any right to. A Samick SM10. You could record a whole album with that thing. It sounds fantastic. There's a Sanken TOSC 3264 with a hole burned right in it. Notice anything funny there? The transistor is supposed to have 3 legs. but it blew that leg clear off the die and out of the package. And that was the resultant flame ball that fried the circuit board in the area. All that got dug out and conformally coated. And the associated cascade failure components along with it. So I've got that amp back and up and running again. Replaced them all. And yeah, it's just got an issue where one side of the waveform is clipping too early. So I've got to find out something upstream is happening there in the driver stage. So more evidence required, more investigation required. So this one here, I don't think it's got a number plate on it, does it? It might have. One of my customers just imported this. It's the first one in the country. Brand new Ducati Street Fighter V4 or V45. So 45 degree, I don't know. But yeah, I know nothing about this thing, but all I know is it's new and awesome. And I'd love to own one. He said, yeah, I'm getting old. It's my last little, last hurrah purchase. But yeah, he's owned super bikes his whole life, and this is a brand spanker. First one in the country, apparently. Not even fully assembled yet. Still got the lower cowling and stuff still got to go on. Awesome. Anyway, enough show and tell. I should probably do some work, huh? Let's plug the laptop back in. Let's see if my video goes back to normal. Hey, there it is. I don't look washed out anymore. That's weird. So it didn't change the brightness, but it changed like the contrast. Huh. So unplug. And it's still the same. And now it's gone all washy. Slowly. It happens over like 20 seconds. Everything goes desaturated and you lose detail. That's the GPU going into power saving mode, I guess. Well, I'll be damned. And I plug in and now it's back. Well, we figured something out. Here's me blaming OBS like a hack. Love Ducati, wouldn't buy one. I'm not a good enough rider. I'd just be afraid of hurting it, I need an old bashed up bike. I can't be worried about parking it anywhere if someone's going to fucking push it over or something. Ducati Monsters. Yeah, the 1200's a good one. The Monsters over here were considered a bit of a girl's bike. Because they're a bit underpowered. And a bit, like, compact, I guess. I don't know, but they look wicked. I love the trellis frame. It looks awesome. I always had a soft spot for the Monsters. One of the first bikes I wanted to get was a Honda VTR 250. Well, I was still on my learner's license because it had the similar trellis frame that the Ducatis had. The chrome molly tube or whatever it was called. But yeah, it had that sort of Ducati look, but it was a Honda. And then Hyosung. Remember them? Hyosung brought out the Monster ripoff too, the little 650 thing that was learner legal. I think they had a 250 as well. I heard Australia has a lot of Ducatis. If you're comparing it to the US where everyone has a Harley, I guess, yeah, there's probably still more Harleys here than Ducatis. But there used to be a shit ton of Ducatis here in the like 90s and 2000s. Everyone had a 916 and stuff. But now they got like the Street Fighter-y sort of style ones, the Sports Tourer style ones too. I can't remember what they're called. But yeah, they're pretty popular. I'm a bit out of the loop, to be honest, because all my mates had kids and sold their bikes. Fucking pussies. And everyone else has a Harley because a fat dickhead that's going through a midlife crisis. So if they tried to ride a sports bike, they'd look ridiculous because it'd be like this blob sitting on a sports bike. So because they're massively fat, they just all get a Harley and sit on it like a couch. You got my GSXR 1000. Fuck yeah, love them. The Gixxer. Always wanted to do a 711. So back in the day, a bit of a trend was to get a GSXR711. So they used to get a GSXR 750, pull the engine out of it, and then fit an 1100 engine in it. So you've got this little bike with this big fuck off engine in it. The website's from like 1996, so the photos are shit. Let me find a better example. 711. What is a GSXR 711? 711 slingshot. Come on, give me some good photos. Kicks Johnny. What a nickname. Check this out. So we're talking old school. What the fuck? I posted 20. I thought they were 8s, 28, 24. We're not there yet, champ. I don't think we'll ever make it. So look at the cowling on the wheel. That's mental. So yeah, what they do, he's got these flat slide carbs in there with the straight, no air filter there. Don't worry about air filters when you're only going to live for 20 minutes. They basically would get a GSXR 750, which has got the lighter and more nimble frame, and then put an 1100 motor in it, and you just make this absolute beast. But a lot of them got turned into like street fighters rather than race bikes like that one. But I just love that look, man. It's just nothing but a fucking engine and two wheels, eh? No meters, nothing. Just, you don't need a meter. You know what speed you're doing by whether or not the cop can catch up with you. So good. I love the simplicity in this day. What's with Temu selling all these things that look like fucking sex toys? Man, they fucking shit me. I hate Temu. Fuck off. Look at that. That is just gorgeous. Love it. A lot of bikes these days look like spaceships. They don't let the technology speak for itself. So all the wiring and shit's hidden behind all these plastic cowlings. As soon as you take the cowling off, it looks like a fucking HR Geiger set. But yeah, I love it when they design the loom so everything's naturally hidden away. They're gorgeous things. I love the old Gixxers. Look at the front. The frame with nothing in it still looks aggressive and angry. And the tiny little tank. But yeah, the guys that do this kind of stuff really, really inspire me. It makes you want to build things, you know. You see what they do and you're like, these are heroes to me. I look up to them, the guys that follow these projects through. Look at that motor. That looks like he's just got it painted. Why was this bike built? What a stupid question. Look at it. That's your answer. It'd be nice if they had some better photography, like some well-lit stuff. But I love that old look with the two lights. It looks like a Mad Max thing. So he's got the 1 meter. It looks like that might be like an LCD one. What's this? That's his 3D model. He like scanned it by the looks of it. Huh. I have to read this article. It's really interesting. I love people that build stuff like that. Look at the exhaust. It's just got a heat shield on it. Straight through pipes. Can you guys tell that I'm pining for a bike a bit? Anyway, I better get back to work, eh? You guys want to hear about guitars, not bikes. Bike looks very 80s. Yeah, but it's good look. Back when bikes looked muscular rather than spaceships. They looked aggressive. They looked like they mean business, whereas now a 650 looks the same as a 1300. They've all got the same plastic fascia that just, I don't know, just the sign of the times, I guess. Old man talk. All right, what do we have here, champions? We have zoom out, a Yamaha AMX 212. solder's not working. Bought it for $100 because I wanted a little rig, because I get a lot of these in for repair and they go into the queue and they are a bit time consuming, so I have to sort of set them aside until I've got time to fully disassemble them. So what I wanted to have was just, because a lot of small cafe type gigs, you don't need a lot of power, and they often are run by not very technical people who don't want to go down the route of active speakers and digital mixers and all that kind of stuff. So they just want something that they've always had, something simple. You just plug in, turn it up, and away you go, right? With some effects built in and a little bit of reverb, and that's everything you need. Bit of EQ, just enough to get by. And they're using it at pretty low volume levels. So this one's like 200 watts per channel. I've got some passive JBLs up there. So if they put, because I get a fair few of these in for repair, and they want it turned around quick because they've got gigs or whatever, because no one worries about fixing their stuff until they've got a gig next week, and then they bring it in 3 days before the gig and expect 3-day turnaround when I've got 100 jobs in the queue or more. So at least I can rent them this one for the weekend until their other one's ready. Because the pressure is mounting massively for me to have quicker turnaround times, and that's just, it can't happen because we're in Australia. And I'm here doing a video talking to you dickheads instead of repairing shit. Just joking, I love you. I need some stuff to hire out in order to keep people's show on the road, you know? So this is that. So this one popped up for $100, and it looks pretty neat and tidy. They said not working because they didn't have the facilities or speakers or ability to test it. They didn't even know what it was. So, well, they said it was part of an old system that hasn't been used for years, and they sold it cheap because they weren't interested in trying to find out its performance. Because I sort of get that, because as soon as you sell something and there's the slightest little weirdness with the performance, people want refunds straight away. So if you just sell it as not working but sell for like $200 instead of $400, then they can't really come back at you if there's any issues with its performance, you know what I mean? So a lot of stuff gets sold like that. But there is every chance that there's nothing wrong with it other than needing a good cleanup. So I'll just test that now. I've got it plugged into my underbench speaker, which is just a guitar speaker. But what I might do first is just check there's no DC offset on the output, because this is an unknown condition amp, so we don't want to blow up anything. Well, you know, blowing up stuff's fun, like, don't get me wrong, but it's only fun for you guys because you don't lose any money. You get to just laugh at Dickhead Brad, which I fully condone. I always get condone and condemn wrong. Couldn't be a politician. Where's my adapter? Bro, where's my stuff? Over here? You'll do. You know what's good for a not working fine, Pete? People advertise Boss pedals as not working very often because they don't understand that the ACA pedals, so the pre-1990 ones or whatever, need a 12-volt supply. So they plug them into their 9-volt pedal supply, and they don't work. They don't check them with the battery. They sell them as not working because it only... If you see a Boss pedal and it says only works on battery, chances are it's an older pedal that needs 12 volts in them. Because back then 9 volts wasn't standard. 12 volts was standardized because 12 volts is usually what like car appliances and stuff ran on. So 12 volts was somewhat standardized. I don't know where the 9-volt standard for pedals came in. I guess it's just because of the batteries. But what they found was, you know, they'd plug it into their 9-volt supply, and the effect may work if it's like an overdrive or something, but a lot of the time based effects wouldn't work, and the LED would be really dim. But the only thing wrong with it is that it's receiving 9 volts instead of 12. However, there is an inline resistor in there which they calculated the current draw of the circuit and put a series resistor on the DC input jack so that it will receive, the circuit will receive 9 volts and it just drops it via that resistor. But all you do is bypass that resistor and now you can power it with 9 volts because it's the same as a battery. So you often get those Boss pedals very cheap because they don't think they're working, but there's actually nothing wrong with them other than user error. So, you know, you come here for the tips you can take straight to the bank, champions. We got smoke. I just heard a bit of a pop then from the, what do you call it? The suppression cap. We have power. We have DC offset. We've got about 0.7 volts, so that's promising. The fan ramped up then, but it's come back down again. Let's give it some signal. Maybe nothing wrong with it other than, like I say, needing to clean up. The pot's off and need a bit of lube. Signal. Where's my Jenny? There we go. Jenny, wake up, Jenny. Jenny. Let's give it 500 millivolts peak to peak at 1 kilohertz. No, let's give it 400 hertz because I don't want to wake you up with 1 kilohertz this hour of the morning. We got signal. It looks like crackling, quite crackly on the. We'll just check the other line, then we'll plug it into the under the bench so we can have a listen. All right, no DC offset there. All right, so unloaded, we're getting about 50 volts RMS. It looks like the output stage is doing its thing. But like I say, unloaded. All right. This is a 16 ohm driver, so it's going to have a pretty easy go at that. Yeah, very crackly. I'll just turn off the noise suppression for one moment so you can hear it. Alright, so that works. Input 2 works. 3's a bit crackly. All the jacks are a little bit, you know, a bit tarnished because they haven't been used for so long. Alright, how's this work again? The stereo channel. What is it sitting on? Alright, that's the line input, so it's going to have less gain, but that is working too. The other ones are RCA, but that won't stop us. Nothing's gonna stop us now. RCA, and that's working too. RCA, that is working too. Just check the other channel. I'm set in stereo mode at the moment. Alright, everything works. Let's just check the effects. Effect. I can do the last post. You probably can't make it out there, but yeah, the effects are working too. Okay, we've got some sticky switches on the YS processing, whatever that is, but that's just a physical thing. Probably a bit of shmoo in that switch. Let's just test it for maximum output into, what is it, 4 ohms? I should look up the specs of this one. Okay, here we go. So 4 to 8 ohms per speaker in 1 and 2. If you go 1 plus 2, 8 to 16, because that would bridge it. And at the moment we're in main, left and right. So 1 plus 2, 8 to 16. 1 and 2, 8 to 16 ohm per speaker. Maximum output 200. That doesn't make a lot of sense because there is no bridge mode in this one. It's either main, left and right, or main and monitor. Either way, the 2 amps are separated. So in main mode, we should be able to test the output capability on 4 ohm. So let's do that. See you, Daniel. Take it easy, champion. Off on holiday tomorrow. Legend. It's a weird time of the year to be on holiday, isn't it? See you, Rob. Take it easy. Everyone's leaving me. Fuck. Son, how you going, legend? Sorry, I'll just catch up on the chat a bit while this thing burns in. Tempe, Arizona shop made a 230 mile per hour bike. Jesus, for Tempe Police Department to run down college kids on fast street bikes. That sounds like a really dumb thing to do. Cuckoo, what's going on, legend? Let's make a bike that does 230 mile per hour for cops to ride. Yeah, that couldn't end badly at all, eh? Nothing can beat a helicopter, that's right. Don't they just shoot him over there? That's kind of how I got my early 90s deluxe memory, man. The guy said it wasn't working because he had a 9-volt adapter instead of 24. Booyah! Got it for $100. That's how you do it, Wes. Yes, I scored a Vox multi-effect in a gross state. It obviously had beer spilt all over it. Now the dry July is over, have a strong belt of your favourite intoxicant. Well, it is currently 10 past 8 a.m, so I might do that later on. Tempe has never had any police helicopters, but neighbouring Phoenix Police Department has more than one, and Tempe is just east of Phoenix. We had one rescue helicopter, almost never used, waste of money. Yeah, but you know, it's like a seatbelt. I've never needed a seatbelt, but I've got 2 good deals in JC77s. Input jacks are broken, solder joints, same place on both. Yeah, they fail all the time, man. They're the same jacks that are in that booster pedal that I showed earlier. There's no real good way to secure them, and they're shitty plastic, but I found a 12-volt supply in my box and got it working, and emptied half a can of contact cleaner on the beer glued foot switch. Working, flipped it soon after. Nice. I'm kind of hoping to find a decent price black panel 60s Fender Bassman that's not working. I think the cat's out of the bag with valve amps, so it's pretty rare that you get someone abandoning one of them. It does happen, but it's much more likely over there than here. Over here, everyone sees a Fender and charges fucking 4 times what they're worth. That thing looks an awful lot like an Oasis PA that had a faulty speaker protection module in it. Oasis equals 0, customer or technical support. Yeah. Made from pieces of other cheap audio equipment. A lot of brands, Seth. A lot of brands, I just assume that they're going to be zero help. So
just sort of figure it out myself, which is kind of how I got into this and figuring out stuff and component repair, because I kind of assumed that the company wouldn't give a shit about me or would actually actively go after me if I tried to fix their shit. So I just sort of run my own race, you know, Mad Max style. Your watch is looking good. Thank you, Anthony. Yeah, I haven't showed that. This is the one I landed on. We had a formal event last weekend before. So I thought, I do love my G-Shock, but I thought I need something a bit fancier. So I got this one, Seiko Prospex. Now that is a green back, but you can only see it's green in certain lights, which is actually kind of cool because it normally looks black. You can just see the green in it there, so it's a very dark green. Yeah, I reckon it's really nice. Sapphire face, stainless. It's really comfortable. It is a bit heavy compared to the G-Shock. I do like using the G-Shock more when I work, and I bash it into stuff all the time. And the G-Shock being like a hard rubber, less likely to scratch anything if it, like handling guitars or whatever, less likely to get caught on stuff. Yeah, I find myself staring at this thing for minutes on end. It's solar powered. Those little smaller movements inside there are actually round solar panels behind the hands, so that's what charges it. And you can see down here it's got a little fuel gauge. You've got F and E, full and empty. That's the charge. And you can go back to stopwatch mode, and that performs as a stopwatch along with the other two. But when it's in normal mode, that's showing the amount of power, like the charge in the battery. So yeah, it's a very I wanted something a bit understated, but this is sort of less boring too. The other one I was looking at was like half the price of this, and it had the glass back on it, the sapphire back as well as front. But this just had a bit more interest to it. The other one was a bit more, you could just tell like the finish wasn't as nice. It had a flat face. It's got a slight dome to it, slight radius to the top, which is a nice touch. Slightly magnifies it as well. Yeah, it's nice. And going down the watch rabbit hole, thanks to Lyle, the fucker. But yeah, I did get some guidance from him on this one. He said it's a good one and not a bad price that we got it for too. So yeah, it did get Lyle's watch stamp of approval. I wouldn't buy a watch without consulting Lyle first, of course. Now I'm sort of pining for a bit of a bashed up watch. Like I might keep an eye out for an old Seamaster or something that's a bit bashed around but still works. Because it'd be cool to have a bit of a relic watch too, you know, like something that's got some character to it. Yeah, the sort of, it's hard to see in the camera actually. The camera's not picking it up well, but it's got a, looks kind of pale there, but it's got this deep green, and it's machined into the back. Looks kind of pale there on the poor panny boy's not picking up the green real well, but yeah, it adds interest to it rather than just being black. I think and it's dark enough that it won't clash with stuff if you're not wearing anything else green. An old seaman vibe. Don't bring my old seaman into this, Wes. Speaking of old seaman, you guys seen The Lighthouse with what's his name? Mental blank. The dude out of Boondock Saints and stuff. He's in everything. He's in Superman, all sorts of Spider-Man and all sorts of stuff. That is a messed up movie, man. You're a fundamental lobster, ain't you? Hang on. The Lighthouse. Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson. I always go to say Patterson. And it's turned into a meme. It's become a meme. People make t-shirts and stickers and stuff. There you go. You're fun to me, lobster. Ain't you? It's a movie you probably don't want to watch around people that like. You don't want to watch it around normies. Let's put it that way. It's a bit fucked up. But yeah, it's going to be a cult classic. You can just tell. Have to go do some resistance testing. I'll be back. Yarr. Always wanted a real pocket watch. Yeah, you don't see pocket watches anymore, really, do you? Good point. Alright, so I'll just give it the dummy. Give it the dummy load. It can spit the dummy. Let's go back to 1 kilohertz. What am I doing? Yes, that cable. We'll see if we can blow it up. Only $100 in the hole, so you know. We have signal. Clean signal. Scratchy pod, but oof. Are we running into the dummy load, or is that bloody unloaded? No, that's loaded. Jesus. Alright, we're hitting 36 volts RMS into 4 ohms. Hang on. Oh, no, I'm running in series. That's why. Idiot! I thought I was getting some otherworldly figures there, but no. Unfortunately, the rules of thermodynamics do still apply. Let's run that in parallel, shall we? Ted, how you going, man? I bought a kinetic watch from Thailand once, realised when I got it back to the hotel that it hovered around the 45-second mark for an extra 5 seconds. I hang on to it hang it from the Christmas tree now. Yeah, I wouldn't be buying watches over there. Japan, yeah. But anything that seems too good to be true, man, definitely is. Alright, those figures are looking better, more accurate. So 31 volts RMS. We're hitting the wall into 4 ohms. 31 squared divided by 4. So she's putting out 240 watts, single channel, loaded. So when you've got both channels pumping out full power, you probably find it's around 200 with the bit of power supply sag that will occur with both channels getting pushed. Fully functional unit, champions. So we struck gold. So because I worked late last night and I do have a shit ton of jobs to do, I shouldn't do this one right now, but I need a bit of a palette cleanser job and one where I can have a chat with you, champions, and then I'll get back to it at 9 o'clock when we or 10 o'clock when we open the shop. But I need just a relaxing job. So I'll pull this thing apart and give it a clean. Check for cracked solder joints, because they do on the AMX series, all the solder joints of the jacks and the XLR sockets like to crack where they enter the circuit board, even though they are screwed to the front panel. Max Powers, how you going, legend? I would like to go to Thailand again. I only went there for like 12 hours, man. Well, yeah, it was like 24 hours I've been in Thailand for, and that was it. It was just a stopover on the way to Oktoberfest in Munich. We stayed at Bangkok for one night. One night in Bangkok. Just like the song, except we didn't go to those areas. We should have. It was the first time I was overseas, and I was super anxious and nervous. I was worried I was going to offend someone. I was really stressed, and it was actually very stressful, actually, the first time I travelled. Even though I had a seasoned traveller, Michelle, with me. But next time I go, I won't give a fuck. I'll just be like, yep, let's go look at all the fucked up stuff. That's what travel's all about. Finding the most messed up shit you can and then laughing at it. Oh yeah. Good coffee. Ah, the proposition. Yeah, I want to get into back into a Western movie tip, because I was listening to the Atlantics yesterday, day before, and how do you get into this thing? Oh Jesus, deep screw holes. And that one's full of fucking insects and shit. And they covered, you know, the good, the bad, and the ugly theme. So they did all the spaghetti western type covers. Because a lot of the surf bands, oh man, yeah, there's all fucking insect shit and all these deep holes. Ugh. A lot of these bands, they sort of ran out of songs, so they started covering stuff that people recognise because it did well at the gigs back in the 60s. Whatever was popular at the time, they'd cover it. Thailand is a lovely place. Been 7 times, wow. Travelling with kids. Wow, the locals really opened up and treat you like family. I've heard that. I've heard they're super friendly, yeah. Well, that just when we were there, we were just in the middle of Bangkok. We didn't even really go into the CBD area. We didn't have time, but yeah, they were very friendly and welcoming. And we were in an elevator for our hotel, and we got in the elevator, and there was this real tall woman in the elevator, really a foot taller than me. And Shell and I looked at each other, and then we realised it's probably not a woman. But, well, you know, whatever. Probably is now, but didn't used to be, if you know what I'm saying. Moving on. Let's clean these screw holes and get all this bug detritus out of it. Good, the bad, and the ugly are all on Tubi for free, really. I guess some of those movies must be approaching... Do movies end up being like public domain movies? Or do people just keep buying and selling them forever? I thought there'd be like copy... I should know this shit. I've got... I do have an advanced diploma in music business, and that should cover... Well, I've got a diploma in music business as part of a other course, but it's all changed now. That sounds lovely, doesn't it? Let me just turn the noise suppression back on. Hmm. Get my coffee away from where all this shit's gonna fly. Just can't get right down into the hole. Ah, helps if you turn the air compressor on, doesn't it? Turn it right up. Holding on with static. This is weird, man. It's just not coming out. Fucking hell. It's like the shit's statically charged. You can see it's stuck to the sides and it's jumping around with the static charge. Static electricity is powerful shit, man. Like, when I was working, where was it? Might have even been my brother's business. We were trying to get dust extraction happening, and they tried to use PVC tubing, and wondering why the dust extraction wasn't working like at all. I had to explain to them there's this thing called static pressure, where if you use plastic pipes, the static electricity buildup prevents the air from flowing, like at all. So you need to use metal pipes or have it grounded. at certain intervals so the static charge can't build up to the point where it prevents the airflow. You can't just run plumbing pipe and expect air to flow through it. All right, now break out the specifically designed screwdriver for this purpose. Have a go at it. Good, eh? Can't slow us down. Mad Techie, how you going, legend? Did I thank you for the solder you sent me? Can't remember if you're on stream, if we have crossed paths since you sent me the package. But Mad Techie sent me some solder. Where is it? I'll put it somewhere. Oh, it's up the front, I think. All right, so he sent me some Multicore 386818 and Multicore 288850. A little message. Hey Brad, I thought I'd send you some of the Multicore Hydro X solder I was telling you about the other night. The PN part number I gave you isn't the one I usually buy, sorry. Oh, the one he gave me that time. It's not cheap, so give it a try and see what you think before you buy a roll. I usually use the 288850 aka 629431. I buy it from Element 14 when it's on sale. The 386818 is similar, but I believe it's obsolete now. It's what I began using. It was around $40 for 500 grams for half a kilo. A few notes: the flux must be washed off. It can be corrosive if left on the board. I like to wash the boards within 3 days, so don't use it for tinning wire, etc. Keep it clearly marked so it's not used by mistake. I clean the boards under running water while scrubbing with a brush. The brush aids in removing the flux a little quicker. Then a good rinse front and back to remove any residue. Fume extractor with a filter is a must. Alternatively, extract out a window. The smell isn't great. Can't be good for the lungs. And then there's the spec sheet. Multicore Hydro X. Rapid soldering of most difficult to solder parts. Fast wetting, water washable. No insoluble residues, no spitting residues must be removed. Alright, just having a quick scan through this. Multicore Hydro X water-soluble flux cord solder wires are suitable for use in normal hand soldering operations where the components have been assessed as being able to withstand the necessary washing procedures. Standard wire should not be used. Strip any insulation back so the flux residues are not trapped during the washing process. So I guess this would be handy for really old stuff like vintage restorations where you don't want to remove the parts, but they're very difficult. It's becoming very difficult for the solder to wet to them, like corroded valve socket pins, that kind of thing. Eyelets, I should say. It'd be handy for just getting the solder to wet to it and then cleaning off the residue. And then now that it's tinned, just going back with the usual solder. So thanks for that, champion. The screwdriver's the new highlight of the stream. Yeah, well, that's what I bought this for. Chris, Lou. I'm just going to call you Lou so everyone knows who I'm talking to. I bought it for some keyboards, but mainly PA speakers, active PAs with the polycarbonate shells, a bit like this thing. The deep set screws, you need a massive screwdriver to get into them. Do not eat. Yeah, that's just a suggestion though, isn't it? Not often I get the same screwdriver in two different camera angles. So what do we got next? We'll get this one out of the way as a nice little relaxing job, but then once the heat is on, got a Galleon Kruger 700RB, no, 400RB Mark IV, so one of the newer type. David Eden WT800, so that'll be the usual issues with that. It looks like it's taken a hit to the front panel though, so I'll take some photos of that. We've got a JMP 2203. We've got a PV Mark III XP series bass head. We've got a Super Bassman 300 with the 6 valves. We've got a DSL 401 JCM 2000. We've got a Hughes and Kettner Pure Tone. We've got a Mark bass combo. We've got a TSL 100 JCM 2000. We've got MG series something or other. Can't read it from the back. Can't access the front. We've got a Hughes and Kettner Tube Meister 36. That's just what's out here. We've got to get back to those tweed ones. I've got to get the quote out for that. We've got a PV Bass Mark III. We've got a PV... A lot of old school PV heads for some reason all of a sudden. We've got a Valve State VS100R. We've got a Fender Twin reissue. We've got a triple rectifier Mesa. We've got a 5150 EVH block letter. We've got that Wizard ARD head. We've got an Ace Tone solid state thing. Got another valve state, so 2 more valve states, and that's most of the big amps. Then we've got a Mesa Triaxis. We've got a Tektronix SU810. We've got a Watkins Copycat, a WEM Copycat. Sorry, I've got a Tascam 122, which is something that I'm probably going to use for archival purposes. One of the services I can offer. What else we got? Bunch of pedals. We got all those tweed amps from last live stream, and a bunch of stuff that's hidden away because I've got a mountain of other gear in front of it. And then we've got a shit ton of guitars. So yeah, we've probably got about 400 hours worth of work lined up. It came off easier than expected. She tries to tip back. Alright, so she's pretty filthy. Just the way I like them. What I'm going to do is separate the two. To do that, we'll have to cut some cable ties. This is the point where you notice they're all different length screws. No, they're all the same. I extract my fumes out onto the rooftop, waiting for the oil temp to stabilize at 23C. On the next decade standard now. What are you doing with resistors, bro? Is that just... Is that a purely scholar? No, what am I trying to think of? Educational? No. What are you doing with resistance references, Seth? Any variants from the 10 resistors kind of cancel each other out, or that's the theory anyway. Some of them are supposed to be. Yeah, but what's the goal, or what are you doing? Calibrating what? Are you calibrating stuff for the sake of it? Yeah, Matthew, you're all champions here. Matthew Dunn. Hang on, is that Dunny? Is that Dunn? Identify yourself. Oh. Calibrating the LCRs again. Why have you got to calibrate them again? What happened to the last calibration? And what's the goal with the LCRs? Are you just measuring stuff for the sake of it, or are you doing jobs? Another screw fell out. I think I might take that amp module out because that's really filthy in there. I might literally hose that thing out because it's pretty gross. To do that, I might just take a photo or two. Just borrow my phone. Just so I know what goes where. Done. He's done. No, the damn thing was way out of whack when I got it. I'm not doing very much now that Mum is home. She can. Oh, she can calibrate them for you. Bit of plastic broken off there. Where'd that come from? Down the front. Oh, it's taking a bit of hit. Bit of a hit down the corner there. Didn't notice that from when it was assembled. Oh well. The Dunstar. Alright, so this grounding thing is pretty important. That actually is the main ground connection to the preamp board. So you can't mess them up. You've got to be careful with the foil. The older ones had a wire. These ones have a folded over foil dealio. It's a technical terminology. Right, so in here's the DSP. That's the effect processor. All the computerized shit's canned off, so none of the computery frequencies can make their way out. I want to put my mouse up there. Yeah, it's not a bad spot for it though. Screwdriver would be great. Max Powers. My random prediction is the JCM 2000 DSL 401 in will have failed reverb tank with noisy reverb circuit when using OD channel. Possibly. I think it's got bigger problems than that though. They love to cook themselves, those ones, but for some reason they used a different manufacturer for the... Is that Mu Metal? I think that's Mu Metal. Huh. Wow. Magnetic shielding. Because I guess the transformer's right behind it. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, they love to cook their boards, but for some reason the boards that they used in the DSL 401 aren't... Well, don't have the same problems as the... You know, the 100 watt and 50 watt heads. the 401 and 201, that's a sort of a creamy coloured, and whatever material they made them out of doesn't go conductive like it does with the pale green stuff. Let's just give this a bit of a vacuum. I just want to try and clean up as I go. Yeah, actual mu metal is pretty crazy stuff. Anyone familiar with Fluke amps? There's three different models. Sorry. There's three different models at Guitar Center. Yeah, I'm familiar with both Andy and the amps. I was chatting with Andy the other day. Yeah, he does good stuff. He's got his new ODH models, which is like Class D output stage with a valve front end, and he gigs with them himself. He's a regular player, regular gigger. Gigatad. But his ODS, is it? Sort of like Dumble inspired things. Hang on, I'm just gonna blow my nose. His tweed things look fantastic. They look awesome. I'd love to have one of them. Yeah, and he's a legend. I'd love to have him in here. Actually, one of my distributors, I was trying to talk into importing him, because importing as my little outfit is a bit of a... If you do it properly, it's a bit of a shit show importing anything. You've got to get local approvals and all sorts of shit. So if I could get someone that's experienced in doing it to bring Andy's amps in, it would be great. I'm still trying to find someone that would be willing to outlay that, though. Might just keep bugging them, see if eventually they give in. How did this thing get this filthy, man? Must have been kept in a garage, uncovered for ages. There's not a lot of shit on the fan, which means it probably doesn't have a lot of operating hours, but it's got a lot of sitting hours, doing fuck all hours. Getting dust gathering hours. Oop. So remember that TV show I was telling you about last time? Who can name it? Is anyone listening? The Australian comedy series I was telling you about. I bet no one remembers. I bet no one even clicked the link. Yuka software. No one remembers. The catering show. No, I've seen that though. That is pretty funny. That's still going. I dropped a screw. That was ages ago that show was on. Alright, I'm gonna have to disconnect like everything, unfortunately. Mister in between. Oh, that was one of them, but that was a few episodes prior. A few live streams ago. The one I was mentioning last live stream was Fisk. Featuring Kitty Flanagan. Hilarious legend. And they won a bunch of awards just the other day for that show. They won the Emmys. They won like 6 of them or something for different categories. So it's not just me that likes it. Fist? No, Fisk. F-I-S-K. Fist. Ah. What you drinking on? Nothing. Just coffee. I'm not drinking because it's like 8 a.m., 9 a.m. Not that much of a pisshead. Power module removed. Output module investigating. Alright, how does that come out? So that is mounted with 3 screws. Yeah. Just want to take the whole thing apart and give it a good old clean. What was the first drink in wet August? Sounds a bit Sounds a bit horny when you say it like that. It was a... What was it? A Mountain Culture Status Quo Pale Ale at the local O'Donoghue's pub. Oh yeah, she's a bit manky. He's a bit of mank. Should be able to remove this bracket now. Get that out. Then remove that bracket. Get that out. Then remove... I might put those screws back in so I know where they go. Moist August. I have an actual real question. Why slow blow fuses? I would think that you would want the fastest fuse possible to avoid damage to the components, including transformers. Perhaps. However, with linear power supplies, and in particular valve amps and their heater supplies, when the filaments are cold, they're almost like a dead short circuit, and their resistance increases rapidly as they warm up. So when you first power it up, a valve amp will draw a massive amount of current. You've probably seen me when I power up an amp for the first time, because I'm reading the power consumption meter on the wall here. I'll say, okay, it's gone up to 120 watts. Now it's down to 80 watts. Now it's down to 60. Now it's settling down to 40. So just a deluxe reverb or something might draw like 100 watts when you first turn it on. As the caps charge, the rectifier kicks in. A bit less the case with rectifier, but solid state amps, you've got the caps charging straight away because they don't have to wait for the filaments of the rectifier to warm up. But if you've got a valve amp, the filaments are going to draw a shit ton of current as well as the caps getting charged all at the same time. So that peak inrush current could be like 150 watts. But then the idle current might only be 50 watts. So you need the slow reacting fuse so it can deal with that inrush current without blowing. But then if there's a sustained over, they've got ratings. If you look up the data sheets of a reputable fuse manufacturer, they'll have like measurements and graphs and stuff you can refer to. They're one of the most neglected components in an amp, though. If someone even does put the right value in, they're rarely looking up the specs to make sure that they're suitable. So yeah, you could use a PTC in a valve amp, but that's another component which can fail or generate heat. They're a bit difficult to mount too, but yeah, a lot of modern amps will have them in, but the old ones won't. You can see that with the light bulb limiter TrueWears. So when you first turn it on, the light glows really bright and then it dims down. This has probably got a PTC in it. Let's have a look. Where's the main input? Oh, it's down on the mains input board. So yeah, that's not on that board, but I'll show you momentarily. Pick up, burp. Sorry. But yeah, with a solid state amp, like particularly like a really high output amp, like a 2000 watt amp or something, you'll have a big honking transformer there, the transformer itself will take a big gulp of current on the first couple of cycles in order to energize its core. And then once it's done that, it will start charging the massive capacitors in the power supply almost instantaneously, and the current goes through the roof, like to the point where you turn on a large PA amplifier in your house and the lights dim for several cycles there while everything's coming up to its resting state. Yeah, so an old school way of doing it, which you find in a lot of vintage hi-fi stuff, is there'll be a resistor in line with the primary and a relay bypassing it. So there'll be a timer on that. They used to make some automatic timer relays which have a filament or like a heater attached to like a bimetal strip or whatever. And but often what you find is they're either microcontroller based or like part of the central processor, or they'll have a dedicated timer circuit. So after a certain amount of time's passed, it'll pass through like a 200 ohm resistor or 100 ohm resistor, something like that, and that will limit the current that the transformer and the caps can draw from the mains. But obviously you don't want that in line because it'll affect efficiency and it'll generate a lot of heat during normal operation. So after 10 seconds or so, 5 seconds, whatever, you might hear a click, and you look inside, and the relay across the mains has bypassed that resistor. So now via the relay, it's connected directly to the mains. That's one way of doing it. You can get inrush current limiters, ICLs. They look like PTCs. Well, they kind of are. So when they're cold, like room temperature, they'll have a high resistance. And NTC, PTC, I always get it asked about, but when they'll have a high resistance when they're at room temperature, so that naturally limits the current. And then when they heat up, they're designed to heat up, like, you know, as part of their function. When they heat up, the resistance goes down, opposite to most conductors. And that will allow full, basically close to a short circuit, probably a couple of ohms, enough to maintain its heat dissipation to keep it at that temperature during normal operation. NTC, yeah, so negative. So as the temperature rises, the resistance goes lower, is an NTC or an ICL. Yeah, PTC is the other way around, positive temperature coefficient. So that is a thermistor that works. Basically, they use that generally for temperature sensing. Like you'll see them on heat sinks and stuff. Going back to the brain box in an amp to tell it to shut down if, you know, it gets above a certain temperature, that kind of thing. Whereas an NTC is usually used for inrush current limiting. Seen many of those fail and burn up. Yeah, that's the other thing, Mad Techie. So yeah, they're all good while they work, but it's another weak spot where you could just use a slow reacting fuse. It's worked for, you know, almost 100 years. So we know they work. But it's made a lot more difficult the higher capacity the power supply is. So if you've got an amp that's capable of idling, well, not idling, but an amp that's capable of sustained 2,000 watts a channel, you're going to have a massive capability in that power supply that's going to approach like 10 amps from the wall. It might be like an 8 amp fuse. And g'day, Alex. How you going, legend? I sent you a package yesterday. You should see it probably Monday. So the inrush would be huge. Even with, you'd need like a friggin' 15 amp fuse in there. So then if something did go wrong, you're already pretty close to the mains capability. So the fuse probably isn't going to blow. It could cause major damage before any of that takes place. So what they will do is have a fast blow fuse in there, like a 10 amp or something. And then they'll have an ICL in series with it. So that is sort of the safest way of doing it. Negative temperature coefficient as it heats, its resistance decreases. That's right. $907. Better get moving. All right, I think we've freed everything. So now we can take that module out from the back. We can approach from the rear, if you know what I'm saying. Ooh, stuff falling out. Oh, that's that screw I dropped earlier. We better find that. There it is. Lots of bench droppings from this one. I just did a Mark II C Plus recap this morning for a guy. Out the door in an hour. Shit. Did it have an actual fail cap, or you're just doing preventative maintenance? So that transformer I was talking about earlier, champions, the failed output transformer out of the DSL50, I just sent that to Alex and he can use it for his own nefarious means. Because I'll just put a Hammond back in there instead. Alright, I'm literally going to hose that fucking thing out because it's gross. So I'll put that out the front. I've got to send another board too. One just sold again. I just saw the email come through. Which was it? A 2 or a 3 channel? I've already got a 2 channel boxed up ready to go. Hopefully it was a 2 channel so I can just put the label on it. Been selling like hotcakes, champions. All the people that said I won't sell any because no one cares and they're not worth it and all this and blah, 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 blah. People will tell you not to do everything. No matter what you want to do in life, someone will be there saying, "Nah, don't do that. That's stupid." Just fucking do it, champion. Find out for yourself. Filthy. All my fans are filthy, aren't you, champions? That's the way I like you. Alright. Alrighty then. Ooh, big honking heatsink on that thing. How do we whoop it together? That's a lot of surface area. You can see all sorts of empty positions here for other versions. Some suppression caps. Your mains. Aha. Here, we're probably looking at 6.8K. Suppose we could just get a schematic. I mean, it is Yamaha. Yamaha are really good with schematics. Which model is it again? EMX 212. Let's have a look for a bit of analysis. I think I know why I sucked at electronics as a kid. They always compared it to water flowing through a pipe, but when I put my thumb at the end of the hose, the water pressure increased. Yeah. It seemed like more water was coming out. The water analogy falls down in several places. It's yeah, it only gets you so far. Stock caps were noisy. They were the original caps, yeah. I've been getting asked quite a bit about the reissues and whether they're worth it. And my answer to that is, I don't know. Do you want to spend $8,000 on a messer? I don't. Oh, install new version. Fuck off. Every day with a new version. Yamaha. AMX. AMX 212S. There it is. Let me introduce you, champions, to the beautiful world of Yamaha service manuals. They are incredibly well written things. So much so that it's going to take a while to download it because it's around 18-20 meg. It's not my internet to blame, it's the server. To be converted to 2C in 87. Massive caps from May 87. Wow. Motors rely on counter EMF and the rotating magnetic fields to limit the current once the motor is spinning full speed at its rated RPMs. Put some vice grips on the shaft and you get the magic smoke. Yeah. I have 2 tires on my Pathfinder from 87. What? You are joking. How can you have tires from 1987 and they'd be hard as a rock? I'm hard as a rock. Creepy AC/DC lyrics. What's the issue with this one? No issue. It just needs a clean up. All the pots are scratchy and I just want to clean the thing like crazy. Install a new version, damn it. It's got AI, yeah. Fucking AI. Man, even Outlook has AI now. And like, no one uses it. No one uses it. No one uses it. What the fuck am I going to use AI for in Outlook? Just show me the emails that I want to ignore and delete and then move on. Bridgestone apparently are good tires. Yeah, but not 40-year-old tires. I don't care what tires they are. You can't use them after 40 years. Alright, is my file downloaded yet? Yes, it has. Open, close. Look at this thing of beauty. Let me just prep my display. 1 second. 2 full pages. Get rid of you. Get rid of you. All right. Desk share. So, Yamaha service manuals are beautiful things. You might notice it's got 131 pages. All the specs, everything you could ever want to know about this unit. The entire layout, how to undo the screws, what you need, what order you need to do shit in, every single part and where it goes, and multiple languages and every single component and test codes and pinouts for the CPU and the functions, and every chip's got a fucking layout of the circuit inside the chip. Insane. Because Yamaha's got some proprietary chips too, so they give you the friggin', like, oh yeah, it's got a flip-flop and it's got a PWM, an oscillator, a couple of gates and driver transistors, fucking layout for the switch circuit board. Everything you could ever wish for. So if you can't fix a Yamaha product, it's not the documentation's fault, it's your fault. Layouts of the circuit board, zoom in and see all the little hairy bits and just craziness. It's got all reference levels. Now we're into Japanese. Be a circuit board repair guide. See, Yamaha has like repair flowchart, right? Here's how you fucking repair it. Other companies just say, oh, there's no need to know that because it'll never break because it's so good. Yamaha are like, okay, contingency plan in case it breaks, here's what you do. Install font pack? No way. Got scope readouts and expected fucking, yeah. Crazy. Incredibly good service manuals. So that's what you get for pretty much every Yamaha product. They're meant to be repaired. And that is a beautiful thing. So right down the bottom we'll get into the schematics. So having a look at the mains input, which is either the first or last page usually. They've got a simplified rundown here, power supply. So they've gone with talking about inrush current limiting. We were just discussing this. So here's the mains. You've got your AC comes in here. You got some filtering, line filter. Then it comes over here. The brown, which I'm not sure whether or not that is active. I can't tell off that. But yeah, one of them goes through straight through to the power supply. The other one is turned on and off by the switch, which is a single pole, single throw. And you'll notice here, in series with the switch and the fuse, we've got our inrush current limiting that we were just discussing. So we've got they've gone with a relay in this case, and two resistors in series, which is that's what I thought they were, R424 and R418. So that is these two, these two resistors here. So these two, Panny boy. So there's the two resistors, 6.8K. Can I read the other one? No. It's probably the same in parallel. No, series. Yeah, they're in series. And they get bypassed by this relay once it's the specific amount of times elapsed. So this does have inrush current limiting via a relay. In a couple of months, you won't need the AC. Who are you talking to? AI is for cows. Bluetooth is what you get sucking a fountain pen. Yeah, I guess you would. Just catching up on the chat, champion. Sorry. Mr. Thermistor. Mister. You dropped the thermistor. So that's handy when you can look up what they've done and understand it. It's nice. Now these leaves and shit coming out of the vents. So I am glad I've decided to take this apart. Let's just figure out to what degree we have to do that. Kind of got to undo everything. Just go crazy undoing screws. Not with this though. We'll put that aside. Where's my sane screwdriver? There it is. I have a Yamaha piano and synth. What piano are you running? And synth? Is that one of the P series? I've got a P125, I think it is. 125. Both my vehicles need AC repairs. Yeah, aren't you in that magical period, Seth, where you won't need AC? Just drive around with the windows down. I love driving around with the windows down, even on a supremely hot day. Mrs. hates it because the hair goes all over the place, but clearly I haven't got that problem. What? You're not screwing into anything. You're literally just a screw passing through a panel. Must have been a ground point on a different version. Well, be damned. Gotcha. Just go buy some eco Nazis. What do you mean eco Nazis? It's a known ozone depleting gas, man. It's not like they made it up. Or are you one of these people that thinks the hole in the ozone layer is fucking a conspiracy theory or some shit? My synth is a CS6X. Piano is an upright U3. Wow. My YZF 450 is a fucking boss, I must say. Yeah, the YZF 450s are fantastic. They are bulletproof things. Not literally, of course. Not a Hilux. Yeah, they're like the Yamaha's answer to the XR 450s or 400s or whatever they were, the Honda ones. Good old Yamaha, everything's metric. It's a real drag to pay someone to do something you can do. I really enjoy it. I love paying other people to do shit that I could do because I don't have fucking time to do it. And I like supporting local industry. Well, I spend my time developing my own. What bothers me is the array of refrigerants. Everything has something different, it seems. Yeah, well, I don't know that much about refrigerant. I've got several Friggy customers, as well as we've got the air conditioning shop next door. But I guess it would be different applications. Like you're going to have high load stuff will be something else for various reasons. I guess it depends on the pressures and what type of compressor it is and all sorts of factors. This is me not knowing anything about it, just speculating on why there might be so many different types. Right, you're holding on by the ground wire only. That's cool. I'll just undo you. I'm wondering if these two screws, one of them might be for different earthing standards in different regions, because here they've got a actual rivet, a brass rivet with this massive standoff. But in other countries, maybe they just put an eyelet on that screw because the screw doesn't seem to have any other purpose. Doesn't seem to have any other porpoise. Alright, give that a quick clean and a blast. And she can go back together. Kind of want to take that out, but that's going to involve a lot of fuckery. That's all right. What's a couple of cable ties between mates? You suck. I do. There you go, Lyle. Nice intro, bro. I was just raving about my watch earlier. Just saying how the face almost looks black. You can just see the green in it there. I tried to show him photos, but it was with my phone and it kind of sucked. You can sort of make out the changing there. I need to rewind to find out what the fuck you're working on. Yeah, doesn't look that distinctive at the moment, does it? It's a Yamaha AMX 212S that I recently purchased as a hire unit, and I'm giving it a service as a bit of a zen job before in 28 minutes I get to actual work and put this away. Let's see if we can get it done before that. I'm guessing no. This thing's got leaves and insects and all sorts of shit in it. But it's going to be a good unit. Putting out 240 watts single channel driven. In the 4 ohms. It's just a bit scratchy and noisy and needs a good cleanup. Dave Halford. Yeah, is he the recone man? I wish we had a good recone man over here, but no one does it. And the places that say they do never get back to me. There's one of them who's just kept dragging me along, and I'm like, dude, just if you don't want to do it, tell me so I can stop wasting both of our times, please. Don't try and fucking pretend you're going to do it if you're not. Just be honest with me. I've got a business to run. I've got shit to do. If you're not going to do it, I'll just go back to the customer and say, it's not possible. Sorry. But in the meantime, I'm in this fucking limbo period where I can't tell a customer yes or no because the bloody bloke won't get back to me. And the customer thinks you're lying. They think you haven't followed it up when you say, oh, he hasn't got back to me yet. That's what people say when they haven't done shit and they've forgotten about you. Here's the Recone man. Quit wearing wristwatches when I worked around in induction melt furnaces. Yeah, I would have done that too. I would have stopped wearing a watch around a induction furnace for obvious reasons. We're talking about refrigerants. I was wondering what made this worthy of so much effort cleaning. The fact that it'll work reliably afterwards, and I'll make $100 every time I hire it out. There's nothing really wrong with it other than lack of maintenance, so this is maintenance. Are you saying, Alan, that because it's dirty we should just throw it in the bin? Really? Even they've got a 130-page service manual, mate. You got to honor the Japanese and their dedication to the craft. Oh, the help's arrived. The help. He's running the show. Just cleaning the shmoo off my hands. Oh, hang on. That's not the help. That's someone else. Someone thinks I'm open already. That's really annoying. Oh, I think I know who that is. That's alright. He's one of the good ones. Not open for another half hour, but I think I've got someone out front waiting for me. There's a lot of surface area on that heatsink. That is a very efficient heatsink. Just gonna go see who's out the front. It's Ryan, the legend. Okay, what do I owe Ryan? It's a Japanese Strat. Fender resonator. And a shit ton of pedals. Oh, that's really heavy. Time have we got? We got 20 minutes till open. Next one I got to check out is a twin, which I did a major service to 3 years ago, and now it's noisy. Could just be a preamp valve or something. Psionic Audio on his live today. Zach Childs gave you a nice thank you for helping update live stream setup. Lyle is improving the live streaming setups of people one channel at a time. I didn't know he's doing a live today. I spoke to him this morning. He said he was doing a test run tomorrow. I'll check it out. Trying to get his voice audible in his streams. So I don't know anything about Zach Childs. Who is Zach Childs? Zach Childs. Instagram. Ask Zach. Music Insider and Historian. True Tone Lounge. Is that it? Ask Zach. Okay, let's see. Live stream 3 hours ago. Let's check out his audio setup. Well, let's check out his audio setup from 1 month ago.
But I mean, I showed him Defender, I showed him Joe Glazer.
Okay, seems all right. Sounded like I had to crank it up quite a bit though. Ambulance ride to the hospital was $3,500. Why? Is it powered by Mr. Fusion or something? Just using a pipe cleaner. Get the big chunks out. Yeah, ask Zach. Yeah, I've never encountered Zach. Never even heard of him. send the dust into a low Earth orbit. Settle on all the instruments up front of the shop. What's going on? All right. Hey, mate. How are you? All the gears ready to go up the front there for you? I don't know. Talk to me next financial year. Nah, it's fine. It's just bloody busy. I'm just out of control at the moment.
I can see by the mountain. You look like a hoarder.
I look like a hoarder. Yeah, none of it's mine though.
Yeah.
That's yeah. That's one of the audiophile bullshit cords someone got swindled into by the looks of it. It's one of the ones where I'm just live streaming at the moment. This is one of the ones where they get talked into a $1,000 cable when it's it's still attached to the same wire on the other side of the plaster. But yeah. Anyway. Yeah. So how you going?
Yeah, good.
No dramas.
No.
So I still haven't done the invoicing for that lot, but I'll flick it to you.
Yeah, cool.
Pretty much all the pedals took apart, gave a good clean, except for the Moore ones. I just cleaned the outside of them because you sort of can't get into them; they're sort of disposable.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a few solder connections and that inside the MTS one, or whatever the Aussie ones were. The tube preamp he's got,
Oh, yeah.
and the booster pedal. So there's a few factory wire snippings and stuff floating around in the thing, so I cleaned them out and replaced them. I think I replaced a jack on one of them. I've got it all written down though.
Bloody
But,
legend, thank you.
yeah, it was mainly just giving everything a good clean, checking all the cables. The the resonator, just cleaned the fretboard and restrung it, as well as replacing the output jack and cleaning the electronics. But like I said, if he's playing anything other than the first like 3 to 5 frets, it's going to be a dog, because the neck's like at this massive angle. You can see where the heels come away from the body. Normally the heel sort of stops, and then it's got like a big tenon that goes the full length of the guitar.
Oh, yeah.
But it's got a weird setup in that, where it's like the tenon was cut off, and then there's like a angled bit going into the tenon that's only making about 20 mil contact. So I don't know. It looks like someone's cut it and re-glued it in the past. He probably knows more than I do about it if he's had it since new. But if he's playing it just for slide, it still works. But yeah, if you'd have to take the whole thing apart if he wants to be able to play it normally.
It's only a reasonably cheapy one.
Yeah, it's just a Fender thing. But yeah, it's got some grunge on it, that's for sure.
Yeah. You get fucking Tektronix on that one.
Yeah, that's right. And the Strats, I took apart the whole bridge and ultrasonically cleaned the saddles and that, because they're all getting a bit manky.
Yeah.
And just did a general setup to that one.
Thanks for that.
That's all good.
I couldn't. I can't get up on this festival and have like.
Yeah.
No, I just can't do it.
Well, the only time, remember at the Elton Chong gig,
Yeah.
where he had that problem with the signal when he first plugged
yeah.
in, that was all just because he was plugged into the wrong output on his
Oh, was
guitar.
he?
Yeah.
User error.
Because I'm watching it and I'm going, oh shit, he's plugged into the acoustic output, because it's got an under saddle pickup.
Yeah.
And I don't think he ever uses that.
No.
He always uses a magnetic one.
Yeah.
So his pedal setup was set up, and the amp was set up for the magnetic one, and it's really quiet, but there was still some signal there.
Yeah.
So he did what anyone would do and just turned everything all the way up. And then it's like still not enough signal. So and then he realized, and you see him go, oh, and then he plugged into the proper output, and because everything was turned up, then it was like fucking bang, like feedback city. So then he had to run around and like try and remember where all the settings were. So what you should probably do in that case, you can get these plug blankers. They're like little rubber bungs that go in them.
Yeah.
And just pop that in the one he doesn't use. Or I probably should have just taken it off, but I didn't know if he used it for recording, so I replaced the jack on that as well.
Yeah.
Because the original one was pretty buggered. But yeah, if he's not using that, just to avoid any confusion.
Plug in there is pretty good.
Yeah, or even just get an old plug and just cut the thing off and just shove it in there. You know, just as a reminder that that's not the jack to plug into.
Yeah,
So,
that's right.
so are you taking all that gear to Europe?
Not in that. I ended up getting that double case thing.
Oh yeah,
So I found one of those.
yeah, cool.
So got that for him. And then just that steel box is not coming. But
Yeah,
just
right.
The pedals and stuff.
Just the pedals.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say it's gonna be pretty heavy. So
Yeah, no, that case I've just got like a normal big suitcase that all the other bits and pieces are going to go in. And
yeah,
shit.
cool.
Yeah, it should be fun.
Nice. So where's the festival at?
I've got 2 gigs and 2 festivals in France. So,
France.
yeah, Le Bouilly
Le Bouilly.
and Le Chise.
Le Chise. Okay, because I've got Europeans watching right now. You could probably get some patrons. Yeah, Chase the Sun legends. Go and see them. If you're in, he's at the towns.
Southern France. Yeah.
Southern France. Anyone in Southern France? I'll check the comments.
Yeah, it should be good. And then
Yeah.
go to the Greek islands for a week. With
Oh, fuck yeah.
My dad
Awesome.
is taking us there, and then
Hey man,
Egypt for a week.
Egypt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't tell Shell, man. She's been trying to get me to go to Egypt for like years now. It's the one place she wants to go, and I'm watching the social bloody. Well, I'm watching like the instability in the region, going, oh shit, can we just wait for a bit? keep cheap flights, flying straight over freaking no fly zones.
Yeah, it is a bit dodgy.
It's a bit hairy, but it's always going to be. So you may as well just make a run for it.
It's like one strip down the middle of Egypt that's
Yeah,
green and
that's
everything
cool.
else is just-
Yeah, right. He's on Smart Traveller.
Yeah.
Yeah, good times. It would be amazing though. I'd love to see it. I've got to just go fuck it one day and we'll just book it. But yeah.
Strangely enough, that the contact that you gave us through Shell,
Oh yeah.
he went to school. He was in Howler's year.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so we
wow.
went to school together.
Huh. There you go. So did that end up working out? I
Yeah.
didn't follow it after.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, cool.
Helped us out.
Yeah, good stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's good once you form a rapport with them. Then it's also just good from an insurance point of view. If anything does go wrong over there, then you got a contact over here. You can say, sort it out, please. Yeah, that was fun during COVID. All the people that went through Shell, because she was still booking at the time.
Yeah.
She was up like all night, man, like trying to get these people back before lockdown hit. It was, like 4 a.m. calls and shit, and these rich people on holidays that realizing the border's about to be shut. It was chaos. Yeah, it was fun.
We had like I think 3 bands from Canada touring that we were managing the tours of.
Oh yeah.
And then the very first festival to go down with that was the Blue Mountains one.
Yeah.
That Friday, like it was open Friday, and then like midday it got shut down.
Yeah, right.
And then everyone's just like, oh fuck, what?
It was surreal, yeah.
It's like, I think you guys should go home.
Great. Yeah.
Well, mate, thanks very much.
No worries,
I'll let
man.
you get back to it.
Do you need a hand with them, or are you right?
No.
Okay, no worries. Let us know if you've got any problems with them. Get him to thoroughly test them out too, if you can, just in case there's any other issues. Some of the cables were the sealed type, so all I could really do was test them and wiggle them around and stuff.
Yeah.
And they didn't present any continuity issues, but I couldn't take them apart to visually inspect them.
That's
so
fine,
if he's got any other cables or anything he's using too, just check them all.
Yeah, I've got a couple and I've got some spares anyway, but
Yeah.
I think I bought him all those cables actually.
Yeah, right. Well, they're pretty decent quality. So
Yeah, the Fender one.
yeah. They're just, you can't get into them to see what's going on because they're like molded.
Where are you going to rehearse?
Okay, that's probably a good idea if you're doing a world tour. Gonna rehearse once.
Yeah.
You guys are pretty, like, it's bloody muscle memory though, eh? You pretty much.
As long as that muscle memory doesn't get clouded by beer memory.
There is that, but
Yeah.
also playing in multiple bands, I guess you'd sort of maybe settle into the stuff you're doing with Claude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's been fun.
yeah. So
Good fun band, that one.
you playing the Maria Festival next time, or it's still a bit far out?
Don't know about that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
still going ahead though, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty sure that's still going ahead. Yeah.
Yeah,
got a few festivals coming up. But yeah.
I keep trying to get down to that one. It always lands in a shit time with work, but you should try and get on the back on the Nelly Jam again. That was wicked.
Spoke to Danny this week actually. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
They're still sussing up stuff.
Yeah. One of the, you remember that big band that did all the covers and stuff, like the sort of headlinery local guys? Yeah. I was down at Browley Brewery and like a couple of months ago, and he was playing an acoustic set. I'm like, it's a dude from that massive band. Yeah, local heroes. Cool. Yeah. No worries. We'll take it easy, man.
See you, buddy.
Talk soon. Hey, Six, how you going, man? What's happening? Yeah, I know the ones you're talking about, Admiral quality. This is not one of them. These are one piece of aluminium folded back and over itself, and then it's like it's spot welded to the main one down the bottom. But yeah, I know the ones you're talking about. You find them in old like Sansui stereos and that, where they've got a blade that comes into the block of aluminium, cuts and cuts and cuts, and each time it cuts, it slices off a piece of aluminium and folds it up, and that forms another fin, all out of the one piece. The Yamaha still label the supply sections on the board power supply. I don't think so. All right, let's get this thing back together. Now we've given it a good clean. Let's get a bit of organisation happening. Okay, so we've got yellow, violet, black. Yellow, violet, black. Now we're cable tied together. Just give them a bit of a gentle twist. Yeah, Six has been struggling. Dr. Gear has been struggling to get internet at his new premises. So bear with him, but he's been putting up some shorts and stuff in the meantime when he can. But live streams not so much for a while. Been battling with NBN trying to get it installed. Need one of those dry ice blasting machines. That'd be nice. It's a quick way to cool a drink too. Alrighty then. So has anyone seen the new Happy Gilmore? Sounds like it's a bit of a nostalgia only type deal, type shit. Saw the new. I didn't see it, but I've heard of the new Ice Cube War of the Worlds movie that got 0 stars. Hey Brandon, how you going, man? What's happening? I'll see Naked Gun first. I hate Sandler. What do you? I don't hate him. I think he's sort of done his thing, and it's sort of, you can only act the same person in like four or five movies before it gets a bit old. The same character essentially. Doesn't have a lot of range. He tried to with that with a couple of other movies, but you could see it was sort of a desperate attempt to get some respect. All right, you go there. You go there. I think you went there. I could just rewind and find out. Yeah, watch half of the new Happy Gilmore. It's a bit more outlandishly dumb and funny. Yeah, it sucks. Things need to be at least a bit believable. The movie looks horrible. AI nightmare. I thought it was just... Are you talking about War of the Worlds, Wes? Because as far as I can tell, it's one shot just pointing at his face. Or is it just that plus AI shit? Yeah, the first one was quite funny. It was sort of believable. When movies get to the point where it's just... If you're going to do, like, absurdism, you know, go for it, but don't switch between absurdism and trying to make it believable. It doesn't really work. War of the Worlds pitch meeting is hilarious. Oh, did someone take it off? Send it up, parody it. I'll just rewind to find out where the wires went. I can see it there. Okay, red, black. Okay, so the black goes with those over to that side. The black, the orange, and the blue. Okay. Why is the black so much longer? All right. I think that's good. Get some cable ties. Shit, I've got to open the shop. It's 2 past. Just one moment, champions. Alright, Jimmy's just over in the shop. Bits and pieces. Sorry, one thing I just got to do before I forget is box up another board and ship it out. So we need a 3-channel. Running out of boxes. I ordered some more, but the lead time's like 30 days to get the new custom-made boxes made, and I've only got one left. So that's not good. I get these custom boxes. You can fit up to 3 boards in one box. Double ply, very sturdy. You could probably stand on them once they're formed up. Just get my tape gun, one sec. This tape's really shit, doesn't stick to fuck all. Ran into Lita Ford about a month ago, really? She's using a Kemper. Huh. Does still have some JCM 800s. Yeah, you gotta hang on to a few of them, eh? This tape's really shitty. I've got a whole crate of it. I've got to use the crap. All right, one board. 3-channel FYM 2000. 3-channel. Here we go. Still working my way through the green ones before we switch over to the black ones. That's a beautiful looking turntable now. Dad's cleaned it up, polished the lid. You know, turntables, people just put them in the garage and stack shit on top of them and the lids crack or just get scratched. But a bit of polish, they come up really good. Oh, helps if I grab the board, eh? So I wrap the thing in static dissipative bubble wrap because it's got some fets on there. And grab some just random bubble wrap, which is in the car. Just one sec. Never mind. We've got some DigiKey packaging here. I need a bit more than that. Float around a bit in there. I'll just use some of this. Almost forgot. Chuck a sticker in there too. Morning. Oh yeah, oh pizza. I can't remember. Oh, did you? No, I missed that. Mum and Dad are here. Yeah. Oh, I was supposed to finish at 10, but... Come and say hi if you want.
I'm frightened.
You're frightened?
Hello. Pretty noisy type gun.
Not really. Just remembered I got to do it before I forget. Yeah, the tape's shit. Doesn't stick to anything, so you got to put... yeah, you could if I'd lodged it. Oh, I can do that shortly. That one's going to Kansas City.
Wow. Kansas City, here we come.
Yeah.
Well, this one, well, it didn't come out earlier.
Why is that?
Oh, I just wanted to give me a job.
That's all right.
I'd have to stand here with to do. Listen to you rave on.
Listen to me talk shit.
Pizza hot or cold?
Oh yeah, we're warming up in the sandwich press. It's hot. What? Oh, the lamp.
You don't.
Yeah, of course the lamp's hot. What next?
I'm going to make apple slice, right?
Apple slice. Oh yeah. Sweet.
Oh, there's Vicky's left.
Sour cream and cinnamon sugar.
Is that what you need?
No, we just went and bought the groceries and fries and things.
Oh, okay. Here's the next one. Kansas, what tariff am I adding? I'm not adding any tariff, mate. It's none of my responsibility. I've got no idea. I can't even find out what they're charging. Apparently no one's been charged anything yet. But when it starts happening, if it starts happening, I've got no control over it. I couldn't even tell you what they're going to charge, and I've got no way of paying it. So that's on you guys. I don't care. Your problem, not mine. Can I just squeeze in there?
Yeah.
Sorry. Need one of those things for the customs form. Are you adding a tariff? No, I can't add a tariff. I don't know even what it is. It changes on a daily basis. I've got no way of knowing or no way of paying it. It's the customer that pays the tariff. It arrives at the port. The customer gets told you have to pay this or they'll send it back. And if they send it back, I don't know, I guess I'll give them a discount minus the shipping cost. give them a refund minus the shipping costs, which I'm out of pocket by. So yeah, customers pay the tariff. The country does not pay the tariff. You pay the tariff. All right, get that one lodged. Where was I? Now, champions, I'll get onto this. Now, what I'll do first is take a photo just to know what knob goes where. You can always Google the faceplate and find out what color knob goes where. Might chuck those knobs in the ultrasonic. Give them a nice clean up. While we've got the board off from the main front panel, I can give it a clean as well. Didn't hit a nerve, Alan. I'm just saying it how it is. I don't care. No skin off my nose. I'm not paying it. There's no nerve here because I'm unaffected. For now. What's up?
You can have the remains of the
You have what you're having. I'll just, if there's any left, I'll have a bite. If not, I'll grab something else. It's all good. Ugh. Is that going to strip? That doesn't feel good. Feels like all those screws are going to strip. Just want to get them started with the screw extractors. Oh, Jesus. Just break that chemical bond that occurs when they've been sitting for a long time. You can sort of go tick as you release them. Right, I think that's got them all. Yep. Yeah, the current exchange rate. Yeah, the Aussie dollar's pretty low compared to the greenback, but slowly rising. So yeah, it's I've got plastered all over the product page that all prices are in Australian dollars. Please note all prices in Australian dollars, including GST, which is only payable in Australia. 10% GST, which is only payable in Australia. But I keep getting people saying, "Oh, that's way too expensive. That's fucking stupid. That's more than the amp costs." And then I go, "What do you mean? The amps are selling for 1,500 to 2 grand, and the board's 450 plus GST." And they're like, "What? Amps aren't going for that. They're going for $600." I'm like, "Hang on. What currency are you talking in? American dollars?" I'm like, "Yeah, well, it's Australian dollars. I can't make the website show. The website doesn't magically know where you're from, and the website's too shit to automatically convert. There's probably some plugin that you got to pay fucking $300 a month for it to currency convert for you. So I don't. But yeah, all the bold fucking writing in the world, and people still don't understand that it's Australian dollars, including 10% GST, which is only payable in Australia. No, they weren't wire cutters, Alan. They were screw extractors. See these? So these are engineer number PZ55. And see, they've got teeth for extracting a screw that way. One's for extracting screws that way, and for extracting like booker rod or studs or whatever that way. Oh, sorry, you want that thing?
You want me to take it now?
Yeah, I'll just have to lodge it. Just one sec. I'll just yeah, or any post office works.
What time's the instructions show?
Oh, like I don't know, like Arvo, like 4 or something. Yeah, we're running out of room. I've got to do some invoicing so people can come pick their stuff up. Alright, I think there's a bit too much to do, champions. I'm gonna have to take off. What's up?
I'm getting it dead sweet.
Oh,
Moving.
I'll go and do some admin shit, champions. So I'll see ya probably next weekend, I reckon. Dad started fighting in the background, so I think it's time to log off. Oh, sure. It's not a squeaky floor, mate. It's concrete slab.
You got rats
I've got frogs.
in the walls.
Frogs are under the carpet. Oh, mercy. All right, legends, take it easy. I'll talk to you next time. Hopefully I'll get that little Marshall board replacement video up and done soon so I can refer people to that for an instruction. It's supposed to be text changing it anyway, but at least it'll just give you an idea of what's involved and things to be aware of in addition to changing the board, stuff to modify and fix up. And then get onto those tweed amps. We'll do a series on them as well. I'll do a series on that JMP 2203. It's got to get a lot of stuff reversed in it. And do a series on, finish the series on the Super Bass. It's coming up, champions. It is coming up. It's been 2 years in the making, but I'll get there eventually, alright? No time for fun projects. But I'm going to go do some computer admin bullshit, so I'll catch you around. Oh, I've got to eat pizza too. So I'll